Welcome to the Horse Talk Show.
You never heard of a talking horse?
With your host, Louisa Barton.
I want to be a famous rider. I should like to race.
Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital.
Truth is, I help horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show this week, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to our friends at Larson Hay. They are our television broadcast sponsor. I'm Louisa Barton in the CEP Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital of the world. We're going to start off with our news segment and announcements, but first of all I want to welcome the Fortner family from Fortner Farms. Thank you guys for being with us. I've got Michelle and Grady here, and we're going to actually talk about a subject a little bit later on that I don't think we've ever talked about before in 9 years. We're going to talk a little calf sorting, and we're going to share some great videos and photos with you. And this wonderful family also have an amazing restaurant. Best breakfast I've had since I lived in the United States of America, and that is quite a long time. So I'm going to share a little bit about Sister's Place as well. But starting off with our news segment, we are going to talk a little bit about the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games. Wonderful event. It's a chamber event from the Equine Initiative, which is presented by Piranha. It's going to be October 22nd from 10 to 4 at the Florida Horse Park. That is 11008 South Highway 475 Ocala. We are going to have top equestrians teaching you show jumping, dressage, horse racing, reining, roping, barrel racing, and polo. You're going to learn the sport, and then you're going to get to compete on a stick horse for prizes. So lots of fun. There'll be a hay ride, courtesy of Larson Hay. You'll be able to take a ride around with Alan in a really neat hitch. We're also going to have some horse demos, some food trucks, some vendors, a horse breed exhibit where you can actually go and take photographs with horses, an all breed parade brought to you by Invictus Real Estate, free admission for all ages, and we want to thank Everglades Equipment in Leesburg, the John Deere dealer, for sponsoring this event, making this all possible so that everybody can come and enjoy a really great equine edutainment experience. Thank you to the Florida Horse Park and to the Ocala Polo Club as well for helping us out with the polo match. And we've got a little video here we're going to share with you as well that's kind of neat. It was us at the CEP took a little trip to the Florida Horse Park and got to play a little bit ourselves with stick horses. So we're going to share that with you now, and hope you enjoy this video. We're being a little bit goofy and learning. And actually, we're not a good example, by the way, because I think we break the rules several times and run in places we're not supposed to be and all sorts of other things. So, but it was fun trying, and it was a little demo of kind of what we're going to do at the end of the day after the horse parade. And I'll tell you, the response for the horse parade has been absolutely magnificent. So I think we're going to have some really interesting breeds for you to see. I know we're going to have some gypsy vanners, and a couple of Clydesdales, some miniatures, some quarter horses. It's going to be a great opportunity for you to learn about a total of 62 breeds that we know of that are in the Marion County area, which is amazing. So email me for more information, Louisa@ocalacep.com. Some other events that we'd like to mention. to you. We have the Ride for the Cure coming up for Alzheimer's. That's the Alzheimer's annual fundraiser, October 7th, 8th, and 9th. That's going to be at the Shangri-La Trailhead, a camp out and a poker ride. It's a great fun adventure and good times, good rides, usually beautiful weather at that time of year. And it's also a wonderful way to help fundraise for them. So, help support that if you can. Also, Stirrups and Strides has their upcoming annual event for their Therapeutic Riding Club, another 501c3. They're going to do Urban Cowboy Night. You can sponsor the event, buy a table, buy tickets. The early bird is 4 p.m. The event is 5 to 9 p.m. at Stirrups and Strides in Citra on December 3rd. So support that if you can. Do what you can to get involved to help them keep their riding program efficient moving forward. They do so much for children and adults that are either mentally or physically disabled in some way. And therapeutic riding is so very rewarding for those people. So help if you can. And then there's the Dolly Parton contest that night too. That's going to be at 6:30 p.m., $20 to enter. If you can make yourself look like Dolly Parton and convince me, because apparently I'm the judge, that you look like Dolly Parton, then you'll win. So,
awesome.
Yes, that's a great, maybe you should try that.
I'm thinking.
I know, right?
How fun would that be?
You could do it, for sure. That's a lot of fun. So join us if you can, and whether you can sponsor or just buy a table, bring some friends along, just to help this Therapeutic Riding Center. Their events are usually world-class, fantastic and fun. So please join us. And don't forget that Customer Appreciation Day is coming up for Seminole Feed, September 24th and 25th at 5740 West Highway 40, Saturday 8 to 4, Sunday 10 to 4. And then the Bellevue on Hames Road location is just Saturday from 8 to 3. Lots of great sales and giveaways and just a really, really fun day. Seminole Feed, of course, a wonderful company locally here and been here for about 85 years, I think, or more. And again, that's September 24th and 25th, so make sure you join them. And don't forget that the Heart of Florida Youth Ranch fostering out horses. You can be a foster parent of one of their 8 horses. This is Giddy, and if you are able to foster Giddy, it's only $95 a month to do that. Nice. And there are over 30 kids at this facility that are in foster care due to being trafficked, drugs, some kind of abuse situation. And these horses help them so much. They give them so much mental and physical support and emotional support. And they also learn how to feed, groom, ride, fix fences, mow. So when these kids graduate from school, they're actually able to go into the equine industry and work. So if you can help support and foster one of these horses, that would be phenomenal. And as I said, it's only $95 a month. You can call Brenda, 352-425-0709. You can attend a couple of events a year and visit your horse, and you'll get progress reports as well on how the horse is doing. So phenomenal program, Heart of Florida Youth Ranch. A little bit of excitement, Flightline. Wow, what a race. So he won like Secretariat. And unbelievable. There was a lot of excitement about this horse. Look how far ahead he is of those other horses. What a race. Wow,
Great
wow.
job.
Well, the important thing about this, other than saying congratulations to the jockey and the trainer and all the connections, we have to do a shout out for our dear friend April Mayberry. Right here in Ocala, where this horse was trained and got his foundation and start with April. So that just gives me goosebumps because she keeps on training these horses and starting these horses in such a magnificent fashion that they're able to not only go on and perform incredibly on the track, but I really believe that April gives them a absolute fighting chance that when they're done racing, if they're not one of the top horses in the country that goes to the breeding shed, they go on to a second career. April's actually given them a foundation that gives them an opportunity to go and, who knows, sort cows.
Sure. Why not?
Run barrels.
That's right.
Listen, if they're started right and they're given a good experience, it makes a huge difference to their attitude, to their success. And April keeps on turning out horses like Rich Strike and this horse Flightline, who just ran. I think he won by some. I can't even remember how many lengths, but ridiculous. Yes, like a secretariat type of performance. So well done, April. You are a rock star. We love you, and we'll be chasing you around with a microphone real soon to get some interviews for the Breeders' Cup. So we'll be back in just a minute. We're going to have Dr. Adam Cayot on the show with us, and then we'll come back with the Fortners, and we'll talk a little calf sorting and ranch life. So stay with us on the Horse Talk Show.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
With over 70 years of collective experience in the horse industry, Lip Chip was built with integrity by horsemen for horsemen. Introducing the Chip Link system, powered by Lip Chip, where a 15-digit unique ID becomes a key to unlock not only identity, but also health paperwork, owner information, and even photos of each horse. So simple, even a child can do it. The future is here. The future is Lip Chip.
Justine Dutton, Grand Prix show jumper and previously international event rider, coming to you from Notting Hill Stables in Ocala, Florida. Here at Notting Hill Stables, we use Equine Therapy International PEMF Activomed blankets on all of our show jumpers. These help to relax muscles and promote blood flow and circulation. We use the Activomed blanket on a daily basis as well as at competitions. It helps us a lot at competitions, especially before they start jumping. The tense horses really like it because it just helps to relax their muscles so they feel ready and confident to go in the ring. After the horses have jumped, we like to put it on and it really helps with recovery. I would highly recommend Equine Therapy International and all their products for all your therapeutic needs. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
I'm Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television here at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care in Ocala, the horse capital. We have Dr. Adam Cayot here with us, and throughout our interviews, laminitis pops up a lot because sometimes that is, unfortunately, the end result of a problem that a horse has. So I'm going to get Dr. Cayot to tell us what laminitis is. We saw a lot of fat ponies have it in England, on lush grass. Yeah, it was quite common.
Two types of ponies, ones that have foundered and ones that will. That's what it is.
That's it. That's true.
So laminitis. Laminitis is just a medical term of inflammation of the lamina. The lamina are these finger-like projections that hold the coffin bone or P3 in place in the hoof. So it attaches from the coffin bone to the hoof wall, and they interlock, and that is your lamina. Horses can get laminitis from basically any stressful event on their body. They can get laminitis from being really sick. They can get laminitis from overeating. They can get laminitis from overexertion. They can get laminitis from just about any stressful event. Luckily, that doesn't happen that way generally. Generally, there's some metabolic issue or something that drags them to that point. We don't know the process that goes on physically in the horse to cause laminitis. We know things that will lead to it, but we don't understand the process even in 2022 of how it all happens, what reactions occur in the body that lead this horse to having laminitis. Certainly we know different things that can lead to it, but we don't understand why, which makes it very difficult to treat. That's why we don't have a good treatment for it. I always tell people this, you ask 10 different veterinarians how to treat laminitis, you're going to get 11 different answers. And that's because there's not one good way to treat it. So it's basically inflammation in the lamina that causes discomfort and it to the horse, and they don't want to walk on their feet because their feet hurt.
And we know no feet, no horse. That's a very old expression because you've got over 1,000 pounds, at least with a horse, on those little feet, and then you've got pain. Right.
They certainly need 4 of them, and when they can't bear their weight evenly and give each leg a break, then you can have problems. But certainly when you see this, the most common sign of a horse that has having a laminitic episode is one that's unwilling to walk, unwilling to turn, and when they do walk, you might see them typically rock back onto their hind end and try to put more of their weight on their hind end, because most of the time laminitis happens in the front feet. It can happen in all 4, but most of the time it's just in the front because they carry most of their weight up there. So that's what you'll typically see. The complaint I get is Star didn't want to come in from the field, or he walked really slow to get in from the field. He didn't want to turn, and that's 9 times out of 10 when I hear that, number one thing that pops into my mind is laminitis, and that this horse is having a laminitic episode. And then on top of it, especially if Star tends to be chubby and you have those problems, and you told the client, hey, you might want to take some pounds off, this is gonna might hurt you down the line. Well, it's always time to pay the piper, so to speak. So
diet can be an important part of the at least the therapy, the treatment, the good goal. Yes, the prevention, right.
Yeah, the prevention, if you can, certainly. I mean, obviously, we've talked about metabolic problems before on this program, and that's a big cause of laminitis. So, that sort of thing for sure. It's when your horse is sick, trying to minimize inflammation and those sorts of things is always in the back of our mind as to is this going to lead to laminitis and founder. Once the laminitis gets so bad, I say the horse is foundered. That's when the lamina actually fail, so they die, and then the coffin bone then begins to rotate, because you have flexor tendons on the back of the coffin bone that are always pulling against the coffin bone. That's why it rotates down like this. The lamina are not strong enough, not healthy enough to keep that coffin bone in place. And in the end point of that, if it's not managed or able to be dealt with, is a lot of times the coffin bone starts poking down through the bottom of the foot, which is extremely painful for the horse and basically unmanageable at that point. So we try to prevent that from happening. Like I said earlier, you ask 10 different vets, you're going to get 11 different answers on how to treat this sort of thing. I try to get really aggressive about the inflammation and try to get the inflammation out. If you get the inflammation out, blood flow can come to the area. So I'm really aggressive with anti-inflammatories, bute, banamine, soaking the feet in ice water. Horses can stand in ice water for a long, long time. The physiology proves that they can do that. They can handle it. They don't get frostbite on their feet for whatever reason. They can stand in snow all, forever, and you don't have to worry about getting frostbite. No, they get frostbite.
That's an interesting horse fact.
Yeah, right? They can stand in the snow and they don't have to worry about it. So you can keep them in ice water for a long time, and that's one of the main things that helps with that. So that's what I tell my clients that have it.
Or ice boots.
Ice boots. Anything to get ice up around their foot and keep that there would help. I minimize walking, so I tell the person to put the horse in the stall, bed the stall as deeply as you can, so you can get good support on the bottom of the foot. Sand actually is really one of the best things to do, actually, because it fills up the bottom of the foot very nicely, which we have a lot of around here.
We do.
So that helps. But if you can't get sand, just a nice thick bedding to help support the foot. I don't generally jump on magic, shoeing or anything like that initially until we start getting some rotation and it becomes more of a chronic issue. Then I'll resort to some therapeutic shoeing and that sort of thing. But I try to jump on the inflammation. If you get that taken care of, a lot of times I've had a lot of success with that. Certainly in 20 years, I've had some losses too, but for the most part, I've had decent outcomes by doing that, and that's what I try to do. But prevention, if you can prevent it, especially in the chunkier, easier keeper horses, that saves a lot of heartbreak and
So a lot like people, if we avoid the weight, we avoid a lot of the concerns, everything from arthritis to laminitis or anything. Obviously, the lighter the horse or pony, the better, which is why ponies are predisposed to it so much, because they tend to get plump so easily.
Yeah, their ponies are meant to, live on scrub grass and nothing else really, but we love them and we give them treats, and they're so cute and stuff.
And when they're pudgy, they're cute.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
Good for their
it's
health.
not good for
Not
their
good
health.
for their
No.
So when the coffin bone actually rotates and starts to push down, there isn't a lot that can be done. Is that right? And the outcome is not good, right?
Not a whole lot. I mean, you'll hear instances where some veterinarians have gotten aggressive and cut the tendons to help prevent that. I personally have not had great luck with that. Those horses, I think, tend to be pretty painful after that happens, and I haven't had very good success with that. There's a lot of stuff out there on laminitis if you start looking, and
catching it early, correcting the problem, getting the veterinarian out there and getting rid of that inflammation is key to success. That was the wrap-up sign, so we got to go. But that was laminitis with Dr. Adam Cayot at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, and our broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Piranha, TT Distributors, and Midnight Rose Equestrian.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
If you're tired of the rigors of keeping your horse's water troughs clean and free of algae, you need the Drinking Post Waterer, an automatic waterer for horses, livestock and cattle. Field tested for over 40 years. The Drinking Post Waterer is the gold standard of non-electric automatic waterers. Check them out on Facebook or find them on the web at dpwaterer.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our TV broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. And talking about Larson, I'd like to say thank you to Betsy very much for the introduction to the Fortner family and to their wonderful restaurant, farm, horses and family. I feel extremely blessed to have a new friend, Michelle Fortner. And her husband here is with us also, Grady, who is a farrier, which is going to be very useful for the future, by the way, because we're going to do some segments on feet. But right now I want to talk about a sport that we haven't focused on this show, but it's very interesting and fascinating. And I'm going to let Michelle start us off with a little bit of calf sorting 101.
Sounds like a plan. Well, we got into it, our family. We bought our farm about a little over 4 years ago. And there's 6 of us. We have 4 children, actually 7, because we have a nephew. He just graduated this year. And we did the softball and all that kind of stuff, but to do something as a family as a whole, we got into the industry of my husband said, let's go try some ranch sorting down in Lithia. So we went and did that, and we were hooked.
And you hadn't done it before either, Grady? It was new for you, or?
Oh, it was the first time we'd done ranch sorting, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
And so how did you feel when you first did it? Because you've been around horses for a long time, right?
We have. I grew up rodeo and barrel racing and whatnot, and my husband has a background in cutting. So we've been in the equine industry, him longer than me. But it was addicting. It's super fast, and again, it's just something we can all do as a family.
So barrels is super fast, right?
Yeah.
Because I was watching it at the rodeo on Saturday night. So
Yeah.
kind of compared to that, you think there's a little bit more to it too, because rather than just going out and around, not to say anything about barrel racing not being
Sure.
exciting, but you've got
Yeah.
a little bit more
We like to say it's a little more,
sort out, right?
a little more ranchier.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
It is ranchier.
Yeah.
So you did barrels, you did rodeo.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Goat tying and all that fun stuff, poles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, and then my husband was roping and a little bit of not barrels, but bull riding. Sorry.
Bull riding?
Just as a kid playing.
Yeah, just playing around.
Wow, that's brave.
So-
I can just say that's brave. I've watched that
They were
too.
steers.
Oh, okay. Not quite as brave. Still a little bit brave.
Yeah.
So I came to the farm. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Got to see the Larson sign up there on
Yes.
your arena. Something I was so impressed with when I was at the farm with you that day was the kids. When you told me this is your staff here at the
Yeah.
farm, and there they were diligently working away,
Yeah.
not fussing or complaining, not on phones, just diligently working away. I thought, wow, this is amazing. You guys have done a phenomenal job with those kids.
I think my son was walking along with us when
Yes.
you asked, so who's your staff? Who helps do all this? And he says, well, us. It's us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just amazing, incredible.
So-
And all of them well-spoken, all of them able to speak to an adult that they just met and have conversation. I was like, wow. I think you could give like lessons on raising kids, because they were just so impressive. Now we're going to share some photos and videos of the kids. Isaac's going to put those up for us, and as he's putting them up, you can kind of share. He can leave it up for a little bit so you can
This
share
is
with us.
Lillian, the shorter of the two, and her best friend Avery Emmerich. We went out to the RSNC World Finals in Fort Worth, Texas this past year, and these two young ladies really showed up and showed out. They the tallest one was world champion, youth world champion.
Wow.
With, of course, all of the United States. Spain was there, Mexico was there, Australia was there. I'm probably missing a few. And then her, together, they got reserve world champion as well.
That's a big honor.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So,
and
then
how long has she been competing for?
So Avery was into jumping, right, honey, prior to this. And her mom and I, we've been friends for years. And she said, what else can we do? We want to kind of join y'all. So about 2 years now, they were in the ranch sorting with us.
Wow.
Yep.
That's kind of a fast escalation to
Yeah.
that spot, right?
And their whole family does it as well.
Oh my God.
Mom, dad, and brother.
That's wonderful. That's
And do
what's
really
so
well.
wonderful that you guys have something you all do together.
Yeah.
So this is
the pretty little redhead. That's my daughter. She is sitting on her horse, who's won the world several times. But she won. I forget which class that was. They could tell me, but she won. Her and her partner there won that class.
That was a youth in Houston, I believe.
In Houston.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and she's been competing a couple of years now too.
We got some more coming. Here we go.
And this is at the farm.
This is at the farm.
Fortner Farms in Williston. That's my youngest. Her name's Lillian. She's just out there helping her dad we do private lessons, typically Tuesday through Thursday, and we ride on cattle. We keep our horses, legged up.
And how old is she?
She's 12. She'll be 13.
12. Wow.
In September.
Out there at the farm.
Yep.
It's lovely.
And this was this year. So we go down to Lithia. Like I said, that was my first sorting that my husband took me to 3 years ago now. And the taller, handsome one with the pink shirt on, that's Avery's brother. And out of the youth, he placed first. My daughter Lillian, our good friend Max from up in McClenny, and then obviously Avery, and then one of our sweet friends from down in Plant City, I believe.
Wow.
Yep.
Awesome. It's great to see the kids doing this and loving it. I love to see kids outdoors on horses and doing ranch stuff. It's so good.
And it's nice when we all travel because we all get to travel together, you know, stay in each other's campers when there's not enough room because we pack a lot of kids. So everyone helps everybody, and it's just a really fun sport. This is out in Fort Worth. This is Mr. Logan Wolf. He's one of the producers, and they put on a good show. That's with RSNC.
It's amazing. Amazing to see them.
The gentleman in the green, the handsome fellow, my Latin friend, he's from Miami, Yosavani Castillo, and he actually was our Open champion for the finals. And then that's my daughter, Gracie, again. And where was that at? Was that Houston?
I think, no.
No, that was Congress.
That's Congress.
That's when we went to Congress.
How was that?
Congress was amazing.
That has to have been like a lifetime experience.
It was.
I have not been, and I would love to go. I think it should be on my bucket list. Gigi,
you should
add that to the bucket list.
Yep. October.
Yeah. I think that would be amazing to have that experience. It has to just be.
It's out of this world.
Inspiring.
It
really.
is. It is. What an achievement.
What was the first thing about it that really struck you? And is it huge? Is it just impressive? Is it the number of horses? Is it the
prestige of it? I mean, just to say you're at
when you say the word,
I know.
Like,
I mean, just
even
if we didn't win, just the fact that we were there and got to compete with such, you know, elite.
And you've won there.
Yes, and my husband.
And you won there too. Wow.
Kind of.
We got royalty in here in the studio today.
Well.
How did you feel winning the Congress?
Well, it was actually the last class of the show, and I really needed to kind of step my game up because my whole family had already won a class or two classes. So I was kind of like, with my friend Yosavani, him and I, we placed in the 8th. We won the 8th class at Congress.
Wow.
So that was
So the pressure was on. The family
the family had already, all my kids, my husband, my nephew. So, yeah, Mama we had to tighten up. Exactly.
Got to do this.
I didn't have no choice.
So funny. Way to go, though. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's amazing. That sound meant we have to go to break, but we have the Fortners with us for another segment, so we have a lot more to tell you. But I do want to do a shout out for Larson Hay, whose logo has been up for the whole segment. And when we come back, I'm going to ask some questions about how Larson Hay plays into this family, the farm, and the health and well-being of their animals. So stay with us. Second half is coming up. Current equine microchips can migrate by up to 30%, causing difficulty when scanning. With over 70 years of collective horse industry experience, LipChip offers a new, more effective method of microchipping, partnering with veterinarians and technology experts to ensure humane and practical microchipping. LipChip was built by horsemen for horsemen. Nowadays, the performance horse industry is in need of both integrity and transparency. LipChip is the future of horse microchipping, with cutting-edge technology functional for every discipline. Find LipChip on social media, and for more information, lipchipllc.com. The future is here. The future is LipChip.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now, or go to feeddac.com. DAC. It makes a world of difference.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Center, Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Center now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations, with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show.
You never heard of a talking horse? Well, listen to this.
With your host, Louisa Barton.
What does it feel like to be in love with a horse?
Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience.
Back in the saddle again.
Now, here's your pretty Louisa Barton.
You're fab. You're switched on. You're a bit of all right. Yes. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our TV broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. And we're going to talk a little bit about Larson's. But before we do that, speaking of sponsors, I believe Piranha is going to be working with the Fortner Farms very soon in supporting their efforts. But we've got some really cool see-through bags. Look at that. That's so cool. With goodies in it for both of you guys. And we've actually got some lip chip goodies in here too. And we've got lip chip t-shirts and caps down there that we'll bless you with as well. But we've got all the Piranha goodies in here for you to try. Even the Shine Baby Shine.
Yes.
It's so good.
We'd love that one.
And little Piranha cones. And the yellow.
Yes.
Knock everything out. So, oh, and then I always have trouble saying this, but there's a lip chip chapstick in here too. It's hard to say that. So, goodie bags for you guys, and I'll get you shirts and caps down there too shortly from Lip Chip. So, let's talk a little bit about the role, and Betsy knows I can't say this enough, and I'll go ahead and say it on air. Betsy knows how much I love her.
Yeah.
And she's such an awesome friend, and she's such a great representative for the Larson brand, and she does such a phenomenal job promoting and helping and guiding. And Richard is just an absolute gem of a human.
Very genuine.
They really care about people. And they really care about our horses. And I can't say enough about, how long, the longevity of my horse, Sunny, who made it to 35 years of age, eating their hay. And just a really quality product and quality people. So if you guys would share kind of what your experience with Larson and their support of you and the hay, just what you need athletes, right? So
absolutely.
Yes.
You want to talk about the hay, honey? Okay. So we started with Larson's on 27, and because our farm's just right down the road from them. And during the winter, we put out the big alfalfa blocks. What is that, 250 pounds or what have you?
The big
ones.
I always had those too.
Pounds, yeah.
Over 1,000. Yeah, I'm not good with all that.
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
And then there's the half block as well, which is a little bit less.
Yeah.
And I actually, when I was 2 older horses and a mini, at that time I went down to the half blocks, which actually lasted me quite a while, with mine. But yeah, wonderful quality.
It is. So we have retired boarding horses there that we feed them as well. That, and then all of us, obviously, our working horses. They're on the same stuff during the winter, and their grain. We feed the Larson grain. And our horses, when they show up, they're cells prep, they're ready to go, and they give us, their whole heart when it comes time to show. So they last. The sport itself, it's as many cows in 60 seconds. You try to get 10 cows in 60 seconds. So you really ask a lot of your horses.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure they're well taken care of.
And I think we've got some videos that we're going to show that you can talk a little bit about as well. Of I think there's some of the kids as well, right?
Yes.
Are riding. So we're going to look at those and talk a little bit about that. But I did notice in all the horses at the farm when I came out there were all very nice condition.
Yeah.
Perfect weight. Oh, here we go. Look at this.
Yeah.
This looks. So you have to get 10.
Yep. So the object is to get 10 in sequel. The judge. You'll see there's judges and there's 2 pins running. So the pin across the way with the little green shirt on, that's our girls are in that pin competing. And the flag will go up and the judge will give you a number, and then you got to go 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way back around. And you try to do that in order. So they'll bring the 2 cows or 3 cows or what have you, and you make sure the right one gets across the line in the right order.
So they have to go in the right order?
Correct.
Oh. So
Yeah.
you don't just have to get...
You don't just bring cows. They got to be in order.
Yeah. Them in the right order. See, this is why I said we need sorting 101, because I didn't know that.
Yep.
So there's always 2?
Yeah, so it's a team sport. So you're not just relying on yourself, you're relying on your partner. So your horse has to be conditioned into, I mean, this is bareback. This is a bareback class. This is some of the lads. They added, I believe it was last year, to the finals. So it's, I mean,
so bareback is now part of the actual finals?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That's an extra class they put in.
Yeah,
It's
just a fun
class. Just to
That's
change it
fun.
up, yeah.
That is fun. Yeah. What a great idea.
Yeah.
And takes that extra
Watch
skill.
a lot of people fall off.
Right. Yeah, it does take a lot of skill. I don't ride that one.
No, I don't blame you, because I would be enough for me trying to figure out if I got the right number and
Right.
if the right cow
Let alone
was going
stay on your
out.
horse. So this is, in the hole is Miss Liz McClendon. That's our partner from Lithia, Florida. It's our oldest daughter, Abigail. And them 2 ladies are out at the finals this past June. They ended up with 10 head that particular
Look at that.
run.
Brianna's sign made it into the picture too. Look
Sure
at that.
did. Yep. Miss Alana, she was out there at the finals, so that was really fun to have her be a part of our
Yeah, look
world
at this.
finals.
This is, so somebody, it looks like someone's always back here guarding the...
Yeah, so this is like a ranch hand, the way that they're doing it here. You have one person in the hole that stays there, and the other person, she goes in, or he, and does the sorting. You have other classes where you go in and you switch. So you would, have your partner go in and get his or her cow, and then the other partner would go in to get it, and they would switch off.
It's amazing. Yeah, the getting the right one. That's skill right there.
Yeah.
Because, you're running, if 2 of the 3 of them are standing together and you're running at one,
yes,
the other 2 are going to likely try and go as well. So
absolutely.
It's got to be really difficult to do that. That's got to be tough.
Absolutely. That's where you have a good seasoned horse that knows what it's doing as well as the person on its back.
Now, is there a particular breed that you prefer? Is it mostly quarter horses in the sport?
Yeah, you want to talk more about that?
Yes, mostly quarter horses. Mostly cutters that didn't quite make it, crop outs from them. It's usually what we use them into the sorting pen.
Oh, is that right?
And team penning too. We do that a little bit,
And now, why would a cutter not make it?
It just
wasn't fit, suitable.
Yeah, there's a couple different reasons. There's a bunch of them it's not going to make a top show horse, so they'll sell it and we'll buy it and put it in this right here, and they're already watching a cow, so they got another chance to do something.
To have a little career, Yeah, the bareback amazes me. I'm just watching them. That's quite something to do bareback right there. But that's so. What has been the most exciting since you started in the ranch sorting? What's been the most exciting accomplishment? I mean, obviously the Congress was big, right?
That was huge, yeah.
And it's fantastic that your whole family's involved in this and does it together. But with the kids, it's got to be a...
Well, so like my oldest, my husband and I were at the dinner table last night with the kids talking about, before we joined this fantastic sport, she was going to go be a designer, which is not a bad thing, but we're like, okay, a designer. And she was a little more reserved and in her shell. This is really, I mean, you met her at the farm, the tall, Abigail. It's giving her the confidence in herself, the ability to, speak to adults, like you said, the ability to, take a horse. I mean, their dad, they don't just ride one horse. That's one thing that makes our kids, to me, great riders, is he makes them get on all the horses. So you're not just stuck with knowing what that one horse feels like. He's making them horsemen. So they're learning business skills. They're learning how he helps, shows them how to breed cattle and buy cattle and the horses. This is the whole industry.
So it's the whole industry is learning everything.
It is.
That's really wonderful.
Your different products, obviously Piranha, trying different things, finding what works.
And people everywhere. We know people in
Texas, all states.
New York, good friends everywhere. It's a big family. It really
it's a huge connection.
It's a big family. Yeah.
We got to go to break. That was the horse winning.
Our buzzer.
Yeah, that was our buzzer. So we're going to come right back in a minute with the Fortners, and we're going to talk a little bit more calf sorting, and then we're going to talk about food. Stay with us. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Palm Chevrolet, and broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Equine Therapy International, Nirvana Medical Spa, the Equine Performance and Innovative Center, Summit Joint Performance, and Equigreen.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
For equine edutainment at its best, join the CEP and Friends at the Florida Horse Park, October 22nd, 10 to 4 p.m. for the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games. Presented by Everglades Equipment Leesburg, your local John Deere dealer. Learn horse sports from the experts and compete from the safety of a stick horse. Enjoy a magnificent parade of horses, the vendor village, food trucks, and more. With free admission for all and for the best in horsing around, check out the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games on Facebook. Bring your stick horse or make one of your own while supplies last. See you at the park.
Nirvana, Ocala's premier medical spa, is leading the way in great skin with all the newest in treatment options, offering prejuvenation for younger clients and rejuvenation for all ages. Nirvana knows you want to look your very best, but we've all seen people with the telltale signs of too much work. We want you to look like you, just better, brighter and younger, with all the newest and best in technology and all in the most beautiful surroundings. Like Nirvana Medical Spa on Facebook and find them on the web at nirvanamedicalspa.com. Become a better, brighter and younger you. Piranha, your trusted leader in insect control for 50 years. The official fly spray for World Equestrian Center. From the strongest water-based equine spray in the blue bottle to the familiar and long-time favorite in the yellow bottle. Wipe and spray, we've got you covered. If you're looking for effective plant-based fly spray, then look for our Zero Bite in the green bottle. Check us out online at piranhainc.com. That's Pyranha, piranhainc.com, to learn more about Piranha's entire family of products. Piranha, it works.
My name is Dr. Natalie Solomon. I formulated Equigreen with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how Equigreen came to life. Equigreen, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Hay. They're our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. I'm Louisa Barton in the studio with my friends, the Fortner family from Fortner Farms, and we have been talking about calf sorting, about their wonderful family activity they all do together, and just meeting their kids, as I mentioned earlier, was just phenomenal, and their work ethic and character and personality and the way the horses were also well looked after was just so impressive. And I love that we got to share a little bit about the sport with you and share the videos and photos so you can kind of see this in action, because I knew very little about it, as you could see. Sorting those calves and getting them out in the right order, quite an undertaking, and then trying to do that bareback, quite something. And you, not having done it very long, having accomplished so much and gone to the Congress, and you guys have won, and I mean, that's just amazing in just a short span of time, really. So, and really taking it on, and now got the whole community of families and people that all do it to kind of grow together. And like you said, it's a big sport, and I didn't even realize it was so big.
It's the fastest going equine sport, I believe.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's just because it is fun.
It's easy to do. It's fun. It's not. I mean, different levels, but you know, they got a class for everybody. If you can barely ride, they got a class for you. If you're really good, they got a class for you.
Yeah.
You know,
so you can kind of come in at any level, really.
Any level. If we can get you on top of one, we can get you in a class.
That's good. I like that. We should coin that for something. That was good. I like that. So when Betsy from Larson Hay brought me to meet you, she brought me to Williston. And I've been up the main road through Williston a million times, and I've even eaten in a couple of little restaurants, and they're nothing bad, all good. I've eaten at the Ivy there and a few other places. Never been in Williston and had like a bad meal. Seems like southern country cooking is just good comfort food, period. But I had never, because you have to turn off just a little bit, and if you don't live in Williston and you don't know, you might not know, you know. So, and I'm in Ocala most of the time,
right?
But when we turned off the road, and Betsy was driving, and Betsy said, there it is. And I said, I didn't know anything was there. And apparently a lot of my friends did, and they were keeping it secret because they didn't want to share and they didn't want to wait. But Sister's Place, wow. 20 Northeast 3rd Street, Williston, blew me away. Blew me Northeast 3rd Street, yes, Williston, blew me away. First of all, when you arrive, you feel like you kind of stepped into the back porch of somebody's house where you were just welcomed, and just not a massively huge place, just comfortable, and just... So I'll tell you what it reminded me of, but in a different way, but like the English pub. So the English pub is home away from home for the locals. Everybody comes there and just knows everybody, and just everybody knew people, and everybody's just talking to each other, and it was just that was my
breakfast. There's our girl.
There's our girl, Betsy. Never in my life have I ever had a biscuit that tasted like that.
Oh yeah.
I know you probably can't tell me your secret, but off the charts.
Thank you.
Unreal. My omelette was amazing. The hash brown casserole was amazing. It was too much. I couldn't eat it all, which was lovely because I took it home and I had leftovers.
Yeah.
But it was
so good.
How do you have kids who must obviously be in school, have a farm and all these horses, be competing at like Congress level, and then also run a restaurant and be a farrier?
Well, the girls that you saw in the picture, a few pictures back, they help. They're our backbone of Sister's Place. We couldn't do it without them. Deanne, Trina, Nina. Deanne's been with me since 2 weeks after I opened, which was 4 years ago, November. And she grew up in Williston. She's a small town girl, and she's been here forever. And she's just amazing. I couldn't do it without her.
And that was the picture of the three of you by the porch, I think.
Correct. Yep. That's our homemade meatloaf. Mr. Richard, him and I were...
Did I mention I was hungry?
I know. It's about dinner time, isn't it? Yeah. We come from a lot of the same genes, and we joke because he's black and I'm white, so we tease each other about being related. And but we have a lot of similarities the way that we cook. I'm fourth generation restaurant. My great grandmother did it. My grandfather. My mom grew up in restaurants, and then this is my second one. So we love good food. We love to eat. It's comfort.
Oh, it's lovely.
It's a good place to visit and hang out.
These are beautiful photos, but you can't even imagine the taste. And the banana pudding.
Yeah, when I get around to making that one.
That was so amazing. We came back, so we had breakfast, went to the farm, and then we had to come back for dessert because it was so good.
Yeah. And you saw some of the same people you saw for breakfast?
I did, because they came right back.
They come right
It
back.
was like, you are smart people. You are smart. And listen, honestly, I don't know how you do it for the price, but the prices are so reasonable and fair.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, not much different in driving price-wise through a fast food place, and what you get is...
Well, you have a lot of your working class people, so you can't, you can't, they're not going to be able to afford to eat there twice a day if you have it too expensive. And we're not, this is one of the things that we do for income, so we're looking to...
If I was in Williston, I would eat my breakfast and lunch there every single day of the week. Without a shadow of a doubt. Like I said, the best food I've had, the best breakfast without a shadow of a doubt I've been in America for over 30 years, and I've not had a breakfast like that breakfast or a biscuit like that biscuit. And anyway, I just think everybody should know that Sister's Place in Williston, even if you're in Ocala, it's worth the drive. Didn't take very long to get there.
No.
And if you ride along with somebody like Betsy, you're just chatting the whole way and enjoying each other's company and catching up. And so go with a friend and pop up to Williston, chat on the way, and I'll tell you, you will not regret it. And if you have to wait, it's worth the wait. The only reason you have to wait is because it's so good. So I was so impressed. I wanted to share that.
Thank you, Lisa.
But it's a quite a thing. How you're doing all of what you're doing, and competing at the level. Pretty amazing.
One day at a time.
Yeah. And shout out to Mary Phelps too.
Yes. Thanks for the sweet comment, Mary.
Yes, that's right. Her and her ponies, and she commented on the restaurant. She's
got sweet ponies.
Yes, she does have no Shetlands I ever knew in my life growing up in England ever looked like Mary Phelps's Shetlands. I'm sorry, but Shetlands were short and fat, and hers are sleek and elegant.
They look amazing, don't they?
They do. They do. When she told me they were Shetlands, I said, they can't be Shetlands. And she went to Hungary and won the gold in the cones, and that's a big deal.
Big deal.
So, yes, and she travelled again this summer, so very impressive. So nice shout out. So there was a combination of people who were like, I've got to go to Sister's Place, and then the other people like, yes, wow, it's the best. So it was all good feedback. So final few things in this segment. It's our last segment together, but we'd love to have you guys back, and we'd like to have you back to talk about feet. For sure. But just a final few thoughts on Larson Hay, and I want to thank them again very much, Larson Farms, for sending you. Oh, look at that. We ran out. We've got a minute left. So final shout out for Larson.
Yes. And without Larson and all of our sponsors that help get us to point A to point B and all in between.
Oh, and your equine insurance.
Yes, Kay Waters.
Yes.
If you're looking to protect your babies, call Kay Waters. She's amazing. Premier Equine Insurance.
Wonderful. And Larson, thank you,
yes,
Betsy. Thank
Betsy,
you, Richard.
Mr. Richard, thank you so much.
Thank you, the whole team, for bringing me not just wonderful people to interview and a new sport for us to learn about, but new friends and the best restaurant. So you can't beat it. Stay with us. Coming back to the final segment of the Horse Talk Show. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Palm Chevrolet, and broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Equine Therapy International, Nirvana Medical Spa, the Equine Performance and Innovative Center, Summit Joint Performance, and Equigreen.
Hi, I'm Alan Davies with Equine Therapy International. Today we're at Engineered Equine Performance celebrating the new saltwater chilled treadmill. This particular chilled equine saltwater treadmill is a game changer. As you can see, the finest materials are used, the filtration system, coarse, fine filtration, no chemicals. We use UV, ozone, combination of filtration to keep the highest water chemistry standards. Being a saltwater unit, only the finest stainless steel and materials are used. That's important when it comes to longevity and cost of service over the life of the unit. This unit also has integrated massage jets with fine bubbles and coarse air bubbles for the therapy. The control system on this is Siemens industrial grade, top of the line technology, straight from Germany, but also serviceable here in the US.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Center Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Center now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Summit Joint Performance, promoting a healthy, thick synovial fluid, decreasing inflammation in the joints and improving the cushioning properties of the cartilage pads. All age horses can benefit from Summit Joint Performance.
Maria Lacasse of Midnight Rose Equestrian's background is in natural horsemanship and dressage principles, with a main focus on maintaining a balance of communication and correct biomechanics between horse and rider. Come to her farm, or she'll come to yours. Allow Maria to help you and your horse to unwind and balance, to increase performance, so that you can both be the best you can be, together, to build a lifelong partnership of success. Maria Lacasse of Midnight Rose Equestrian is a graduate of the Equine Natural Movement School for Equine Structural Integration and a Florida School of Massage graduate. Find Midnight Rose Equestrian on social media and on the web at midnightroseequestrian.com and book your massage for your horse and you right away. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, I'm Louisa Barton, host and executive producer. I have the pleasure of having in the studio a very special guest here with us, Dr. Alberto Rullan from the Equine Performance and Innovative Center. We've been talking a little bit about stem cells. I'm going to let him take right back over where he left off.
So we were talking about what is a stem cell, right? So every cell in the body, whether it's a skin cell, the hair, a tendon, has what's called a root long before in the development. We're going to call it a seed, for an analogy, like a tree, right? Mm-hmm. Then that seed gets called later on to become a hair cell, or that seed gets called later on or recruited to become a heart cell, or that seed later on gets called to be a tendon or a muscle. That's in simplicity what a stem cell is. The scientists have found out that we had a little bit of a different idea of what a stem cell treatment does. Back in the days, we used to think, okay, we get a stem cell, we put it in a heart, becomes a heart. We take a stem cell, we put in a tendon, becomes a tendon. Well, it's not quite like that. It happens that with more research we do, what the stem cells do, or this, when we get these seed cells from either fat or bone marrow, we motivate other cells in those tendons to heal better. It's not quite as simple as it'll become a tendon, it'll become a joint, or it become a bone. It's that it motivates. It's kind of like a big cheerleader
for the others.
Yes, for the others to help them get better.
That's the best way I've ever heard that explained.
Right?
Yes.
I just made it up.
That makes it so simple, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's why the quality of the healing is very important and it's very good.
Right.
So the PRP has what's called growth factors, and those growth factors get in that tendon and helps those other cells that are injured get better. And then the stem cells, they kind of motivate other cells around to get better and heal. That's in its simplicity, right? So now we understand the anatomy, we understand the treatment modality that we're using. Now we go to the third topic, which is going to be the rehabilitation.
Right.
So knowing the anatomy and the treatment without a rehabilitation is not really a good idea. It is like, well, it's like having a tree falling on your house and you're going away for 60 to 90 days and coming back and expecting to be all healed and the tree
Right.
taking care of itself.
Right.
So the rehabilitation is what puts everything together. And there are multiple ways to rehabilitate, obviously. There are multiple modalities. Understanding the anatomy will help the modality. For example, let's say we have a bone that has a bone bruise. Well, we know that we probably shouldn't be trotting that horse on hard ground. That horse should probably be swimming. Or
right.
maybe the aqua pacer, right?
Something less impact.
Exactly. Let's say we have a tendon injury. Well, we know that that horse in a tendon shouldn't be on deep sand.
Right.
Because the tendon doesn't do good on deep sand because it sinks down. If you have a bone injury, you can go in deep sand.
That makes sense.
Yes. This is where
so it's very hard to get a horse exercise in a conventional barn environment and keep it moving because so many of the places that you could possibly move the horse around might be detrimental to the injury. Whereas if you have a place where the horse can be in water without impact or in the treadmill or in the spa, obviously it's going to be a lot more therapeutic for the horse, right?
Yes, they will get a better benefit out of it. Of course, we have all rehab our horses in our barns, in our farms. I didn't have a barn at the beginning of my career, right? So in my life, so but having the proper facility helps a lot, obviously.
Right.
Back in the days, I remember when our vet would say, just put it in the paddock for a year. Put it in the paddock for, 90 days. And you come back and some of them do get a little better, but a lot of them don't. Because the trick of the rehab is not just put the horse on some modality and keep doing every day. It's the follow-up. It's checking the horse on a daily basis or a weekly basis to make sure that the modality that you're using is working. And then you can increase exercise. It's like people rehab. You have been on rehab, right?
I have, yes.
So rehab has helped you a whole lot.
Right.
And so the same thing with the horses. When you take that rehabilitation designed for that injury, based on the therapy that you did for the horse, it works very, very well. Yes. And you apply this concept to any injury. You could apply for a wound in the skin. You could apply for laminitis. You could apply for a broken bone. You could apply for a tendon or a ligament. So it's an injury that the whole recipe works for any horse. It works for a horse that is a backyard horse. You can apply for a horse that is a Grand Prix horse, or you can apply for a horse that is a extreme super powerful athlete.
And I think to comment there is to say that the two top equestrians that we spoke to who had show jumping Grand Prix horses that were injured, both said there was nothing that they had at their farm that they could have done for those horses to get them ready to come back into an exercise program and be that ready. There is nothing they could have done. And the things that were done at Epic are what meant that when the horse came back to the farm, the horse was ready to start back into a training routine again, not let's start with just walking. We can only walk for X amount of months and then we can trot, because all those non-impact processes that had happened at Epic had sped up the process so that the horse was actually ready to go back into training. And both commented on they've seen a lot of injuries in their careers and they've never seen horses come back like that. So I think that's something really to be said for that. That rehab process works.
Yes, and that's a great point that you bring, because a lot of people, a lot of veterinarians will tell you, don't exercise the horse with an injury. I'll tell you, exercise the horse with an injury, but exercise it in a controlled environment.
Right, monitored.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. And then there's the big concern for horses that are used to being very active and competitive, suddenly standing still in a stall for months on end. And then you've got the risk of laminitis and colic and every other thing that can stress a horse out when it's used to moving and it's suddenly in a still environment where it's standing injured and can't do anything. What you can do at Epic is make sure that horse moves in a monitored, safe environment and keep that activity level up during the recovery.
Don't forget, there's always that mental component of it.
Right, always.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Alberto Rullan, rehabbing horses the right way. We've heard it from some equestrians. Now we've heard the process from him. Check out the Equine Performance Innovative Center online. And actually we have the little, you can